Hello, lovely people of YouTube. How are you today? First of all, Happy New Year to all of you. How are you in this new year? What is your New Year's resolution? Please comment down below and let us know. Today, I am going to show you how to make this split ring. And this is going to be a tatting tutorial with pony tatting shuttles. We are going to use 2 shuttles today. And I'm almost out of my yellow thread in this shuttle. But you will get to know how to do this pretty 2-colored rings called split rings in this video. So without further ado, let's get started. So in order to do this split, we are going to need 2 tatting shuttles by Pony, and I am going to open both of them. Each one comes with 2 bobbins. One is inside this and another is in the box. So I'm not going to need this one. I'm keeping it in the box and keep the other bobbin in the box only. And I have one shuttle's bobbin bound in this red thread and the other one is a yellow thread, and I've already wound that. You will have to do this. So one is yellow, one is red, as we regularly do. I'm going to wrap this around my fingers and I am going to start to do the stitches. So this is my half stitch and this is the first stitch. Now as a part of this, I'm going to also show you how to hide this tail end of this yarn. So for that, I'm going to take this tail end here with my work. Maybe wind it like this, just twist it so that it is not going anywhere. And then I'm going to do my stitches normally, holding it here and then doing the first half of the stitch. Now while I'm binding it, I'm making sure that this particular end passes through this loop, so it is inside. Like so. Hope you are able to see that. I'm going to tighten it as we usually do. You may have to pull on this tail end once again. And then I'm going to do the other half of my stitch. Once again, I'm making sure that this end is going through this loop, and then I'm going to tighten it and complete my second stitch. So I've done 2 stitches here. For the third stitch, what I'm going to need is a picot. So for that, once again, I'm doing it normally, and I'm going to leave some space here. And even then, I am going to take this particular tail end through this loop and tighten it. So this is my picot, and I'm going to do the other half of the stitch, holding the picot and tightening it. Now this has gone through few stitches, and then I can cut this excess tail end. So even 2 or 3 stitches holding this tail end is enough for it to stay secured. So now on my finger I have 2 stitches, 1 picot and 1 stitch. I'm going to repeat 1 picot and 1 stitch 2 more times. So this is the next picot and this is the next stitch. I'm going to do this once again. Next picot and the next stitch. Alright, so this is my first half of the split ring. For the other half, we are going to use the yellow color. Now to do that, we are going to take this work off our hands and put it back while reversing it, turning it and reversing it. I'll show you once again. This was something like this, and when this shuttle, this is the excess shuttle thread, this was here at the front, and when I will move this, I will take it off and take it so that the shuttle thread is now at the back, right? And then I'm going to move this work towards the right side. In general, when we tat, the work is generally on the left side. Now I'm twisting it to the right side. Okay, once again I'll show you. This was something like this. The shuttle thread was in front of us. We were doing tatting like this, I'm taking it off my hands, moving it like so that the work is on the right side, shuttle thread is behind. Then I am going to take this yellow thread and I'm going to place it somewhere around here. I want to make a knot very close to this end, and to do that I am holding this here. I am making a knot like we regularly do for a shuttle tatting, and then we will pass this loose end through this loop and tighten it. Make sure you come as close to this starting to the base as possible, and there will be some tail end left here which we will once again hide. Now this is just a knot, this will not be considered as a stitch. So let's start making our stitches. We are going to do the wrapping as regular, but we are going to keep the tension in this part of the thread very tight, so that whenever we are pulling only the yellow thread. And as you come near this, make sure that you pull this loose end through so that it is secure. So this is my first half of the stitch. So I'm going to do the second half of that first stitch. Once again, I'm not twisting here. I'm keeping this tension steady and I am moving this yellow thread towards the back. This is my second stitch. Now I'm going to do a picot. Once again, the picot will be towards the right side, not the left. I am keeping the tension steady and I want, let's say this much is the length of my picot. So I'm keeping my stitch here and putting it once again, keeping the tension here steady, pulling it back. And now pulling this will give me that beautiful picot. But the picot, as you can see, is on the right side only. So let's move ahead. We will have to make one more picot here, keeping the tension there, pulling the yellow thread back, and let's do the next half of the stitch. That is my second picot. I'll do one more picot here. Tension is steady. The other half of the stitch. See, if I lose this tension, what happens is the red thread starts showing. We do not want that. If that happens, go back. If you want, just remove this particular stitch like so. Do it once again and remember to keep the tension steady. Come back and pull. This is my third picot. I'll do one more stitch, not a picot, so as to go in a reverse direction as we came. So I'll show you. Wait, let me finish this stitch. Okay, once again, I forgot to keep the tension steady and the red stitch came here. So once again, I have to go back. This could be fixed like this as well. As long as the yellow thread shows through, you are good to go. So I'll show you once again what we did. We have two stitches here, then 3 picots and 1 stitch, and we have 3 picots and 2 stitches here. Now what we are going to do is, we are going to turn this. We have half of the stitches in red and half of them in yellow. We are simply going to pull this to close this ring. And this is our first split ring. So in this split ring, half of the side is of one color and half of the side is of another color. And we can now continue doing this. Once again, we will turn this and do our stitches, making sure we are going to the absolute base. This is my first stitch. I'll do a picot, second stitch, once again a picot, third stitch, a picot, and that's it for this half of the ring. Now let me turn the work, take it off. The shuttle thread is towards the front. Now when I'm turning, it will come towards the back and the work will be something like this. Now I will take this yellow thread. So see carefully that this thread is at the back, and while this yellow thread, the yellow shuttle thread, is at the front. So you have to every time move the shuttle so that this thread comes to the back and yellow thread comes to the front. Right, I will show that to you once again. This was something like this. When we were tatting, yellow was at the back, red was at the front. Whenever you switch so that the red comes to the back and the yellow comes to the front, and your work is on the right side. It will take a little bit of practice, but you will get the hang of it. And once that happens, you can make a beautiful ring. So let's make this once again. Keep the tension steady. Go to the absolute base as much as possible. Make sure your yellow is showing on top and not the red, and then complete the stitch. That is the first stitch. We'll do a picot which is going to be on the right side. I am going to keep this much distance, hold it, complete this other half of the stitch without losing the tension, and then pull. This is my picot. Let's make the second picot. Remember to keep the tension steady. Once you reach here, pull. This is your second picot. Let's make a third one. That's the third one. I'm going to make one stitch after this just to hold. That's it. Let's turn it around and close. That is my second split ring. Now you can do as many rings as possible and you can make a long chain out of it. I'm just going to make one more to show you once again, and then I'm going to stop, but you can continue doing that and make a long ribbon. So once again, I'm holding this, wrapping the red threads around my finger. Observe that the yellow shuttle is at the back, the red one is on the front. Let's make a stitch. Go to the absolute base. Let's complete that stitch. Let's make one more stitch. And for the third stitch, let's remember to make a picot. Here is that picot. That is my third stitch. Let's make the fourth one, but before that, let's remember to make a picot. That's my fourth stitch. Let's make the last stitch with a picot. This is the fifth stitch. We have 3 picots over here. Now we will move. Once again, observe that the red shuttle is on the front, yellow is on the back. So when we will move such that the red comes to the back and yellow goes to the front, and we have our work on the right side. Bring this to the right side, like so. Now the yellow is on the front. We will start making the stitches. Remember to keep the tension steady so the yellow thread is showing here. This is the first half of the stitch. This is the second half of the first stitch. Let me make one more. Then let's make a picot. Remember to keep the tension steady. This is our first picot. Let's make 2 more. This was the last of the threads. I'm keeping the shuttle down, just doing this with my hands. This is the second picot. This is the third picot. Once we have all 3, let's turn it around, pull this to close. Once you get the hang of this, this is fairly simple, and you can make as long as the lace you want. You can use different colors. This I have used red and yellow. You can use any color of your liking. You can make bigger rings. You can make bigger rings by increasing the number of stitches, increasing the number of picots. You can do many things with this. Use this as a border to your projects like skirts or sleeves. Even you can use it as a bookmark or simply the page holder, in your diaries. As the new year is coming, you must have a new diary. So yeah, the possibilities are endless. But whatever you make, don't forget to share your creations with us. We love to see them. We take inspiration from them. We take inspiration from your comments to show you, what to make next. We get a lot of ideas from you. So please keep on doing that. Head to our website, head to our store to get the pony shuttles, the scissors, and whatever the new things we are giving you in this new year. So yeah, with that, don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to our channel, and press the bell icon to get more notifications. And I take your leave with that. Thank you. Bye bye.